film is based on a true story about two guys, played by these two guys, Sam and Seamus, who were very talented Scottish rappers in the early 2000s. They answered a big casting call or talent call down in London. They went to it, this record label, gave them like 45 seconds, and they were really good and started just laughing in their faces. Ridiculed them, reduced them, basically told them, look, guys, you're never going to make it. You might be talented, but nobody wants rap music with my accent. They took that very hard and they went, well, what do they want? They want rap music with maybe an English accent, definitely an American accent. So they re-recorded all their music with American accents, went one further, became method actors, and then for the next 2.5 years pretended to be 24/7, even when they were on their own, alone together. American people from the West Coast, from a little town called Hemet, just outside Los Angeles. They went back down, and the same record label ended up giving them a deal for like 60 grand. And they went on a wild ride, and it was a lot of fun, and it all went south, and it ended in tragedy. And they ultimately lost out, personally, emotionally, and also financially as well. But the story is about trying to take back from the system that is keeping you away, trying to get through that glass ceiling and trying to get past the people who aren't giving you an opportunity. I don't think it's an issue that just is specific to Scottish storytelling necessarily. I think it's, if you wanted to make an entertaining film, which is definitely something I wanted to do, I wanted to be able to make people laugh as well as cry, as well as feel bad, as well as feel shocked or whatever. Basing those stories, what environment do you need to base them in? You generally need to base them in environments that are a little bit free of the harsh realities or constraints or pressures of life. So lower income backgrounds, working class, if you want to call it that, backgrounds don't often feature in that type of movie. And it was really important for me to make a movie about people who face those issues and face those problems day to day, but they can still be in a film that is entertaining and aspirational and inspirational at times. So yeah, there was quite a few that came my way, which were really good, and it's definitely a kind of movie I like to watch as well. But I wanted to help do something. That sounds a bit self-aggrandizing. I wanted to make a film about a certain type of background in Scotland that did something else. And this was the first one that came along, and I just thought it was so dynamic and so fun and underpinned by the real stakes and the real personal issue, not the real personal issues, actually some of them, but the real personal things that are at stake in what these guys lost as well.
I think we both had very, very little experience of like rapping. 2 or 3 week rehearsal period where we like focused on like learning how to skateboard were like a big one. We had like 2 weeks of like skateboarding lessons, 2 hours every morning, which was pretty intense. And like I turned up on the first day with like big like Nike boots on. I didn't know that you had to have like flat soled shoes. You know what I mean? So like. It was interesting. It was
like looking at the Michelin Man. Like we had
Yeah.
for insurance reasons, we couldn't look like cool skaters and like.
Yeah, there was like 5-year-olds in the skate park like with no pads, and they were like wearing like medieval armor, getting on a skateboard.
And he still broke his arm.
He broke his arm actually. Yeah,
I broke my arm like at the end of the first week of learning how to skateboard.
We were having a great old time. Our skateboard teacher, were like getting so confident in the bowl and stuff, and like just laughing and like. And then all of a sudden, I've got a video on my phone.
Yeah, we have it. Yeah,
we have the video.
James was probably coming to inspect the lessons. He would come at the end of the classes to see how we're getting on. And before this, Sam was like going up the bowl and just vertically just fell down.
Smashed my elbow to pieces. Yeah, and I had like a full like all the gear on and like.
He still carried on.
Yeah.
But it kind of, it was a bonding experience though, wasn't it?
It was. We were very, very lucky. Like there were so many different like aspects of the job that I didn't think about before even going into it. Like making the music, learning how to like be on stage and have that like stage presence, and then obviously like just getting to know Seamus and being able to bounce off each other, and
it got us into the world, the culture of it, and like. They were skating every day and just messing around, and that's literally what me and Sam did.
And he said something in rehearsals which just like it was so simple but so penetrating. It was like day 1 or day 2. I was like, asked him like, what do you need? Like anything you need at all, just like talk to me, and there's nothing that's off the table. There are no wrong questions or no bad questions, all that kind of stuff. And he just went, I just need to love him.
Yeah.
You remember that?
But,
I do remember that. Yeah.
The real Mary was very giving with her time, her energy, and her experience that she had when this all took place. And I had some lovely conversations with her, and she gave me a lot of really wonderful insight into that time in her life. James was very open and like collaborative with like my thoughts on Mary, and so that kind of allowed me to kind of shape her the way I kind of saw fit, or the version that I thought she was. And that's kind of like how it came together, really.
She came in very early in rehearsals. This isn't a criticism.
Yeah.
I'm not making fun, honestly. With like a big, notepad
was
this
like
size, with like 40 questions, critiques, and interrogating the script for somebody who was on their second job. And she was actually quite tentative about it and apologetic about it. And I was like, no, 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 no. Like that's what I do, and I'm like 30 years in, and this is your second job. And she was doing that and really interrogating the material, interrogating the character as we'd drawn it, and the arc, and her intentions at times. And I had so much respect for you for doing that. And I could see on the day at times where your performance was that much better because you did it
Yeah.
as well. So I was really,
Yeah.
really pleased that you did that.
Yeah, but I think I think the reason that got to be as good as it was because like James gave the space for that. Like, do you know what I mean? I showed up like first week with sat down, pulled out about 5 pages, and he like took the time and went through every single one of those like bullet points.
I'm really good.
Yeah.
I'm just really good. Sorry.
And it was like he didn't need to do it. He could have gone, listen, the script's a script. I'm telling you how
I've had
it
that
is.
happen. I've had that happen.
So just put your like, do you know what I mean? That you're not. Don't care what your insight is or what your thoughts are or what your critique. Like especially my critique. Like put your critique away. But he didn't do that. He was so forthcoming and open and gave so much, time, and we went through it. And that is why the version of Mary on the screen is the version that she is because of how we got to shape her and how much space there was to shape her.
I think that's the luxury of having an actor director as
Yeah.
well, and it's understand.
Yeah, so my character Tessa, she's like a composite of. She's not based on a specific real life person, but like I guess a composite of lots of different characters, I suppose that the guys would have encountered along their way in the industry. So yeah, for me it was very much researching like how the music industry works and why I didn't really know anything about it, so that was really interesting. And watching lots of documentaries about what really happened, I was saying that one of the things that kept going around in my mind was like, how did no one clock? Because they're Scottish, but then watching the documentaries, everyone was just like, yeah, we just didn't know. And it's true. Like if someone tells you they're American, you're not going to be like, are you? So that was fun. And then obviously James, the invitation from James from day one was very much like, he said, we want you, and we want you to make this character your own and bring yourself to the role. So that was like a really interesting provocation, I think, to try and just fill Tessa with my own feelings. And she just goes on this lovely journey with the boys and hitches her wagon to them. And again, it was just, I felt like big sisterly, there's like a kind of momager element to Tessa, and she really cares for them. And that's why, I think that betrayal is so present in their minds as well as they kind of go further down this journey. It's like she becomes this counterbalance of like, oh gosh, we can't do the plan as we intended because we'll ruin her life too. It was such a fun thing to play, and we just had such a good time.
Her character was originally much more like a not like a bad guy, but like somebody who was onto them and sniffing and kind of trying to piece together pieces and like a threat, basically. I just wasn't interested. I wanted it to be somebody. We changed the writers and I to somebody that is also trying hard to make it, also has a glass ceiling to get through for multiple reasons. And it was, and this isn't no criticism of anybody who I saw for the role, but it just wasn't working, to the point where I was like, have we written a bad role here? And then Ree came in and just you just care for her, you care about what happens to her, and she's not a protagonist in the film. She's not somebody who like you use as your avatar as the audience necessarily because of the role she plays, and yet you root for her so much, and that was because you brought you to it, and I'm so grateful to you for that.